Right guys, welcome to part 2. We're going to be taking a more in-depth look into the Strathspey Railway here at Aviemore and Boat Garden. We're going to be looking around some of the sheds and getting an interview with Murray Duncan, the resident painter. We're just getting a bit more background info and a more of a deep insight into the railway. So if you're thinking of volunteering sort of thing, you might just take the plunge. So yeah, just a bit more of an insight look at the railway. Right guys, so here we are at Aviemore. We're now going to take you for a look around the restoration shed. Right guys, so now we are actually in the restoration facility itself, and what a facility it is. It can hold 2 Mark I carriages, and it has the capability to lift them. It's got a full concrete floor and a workshop. It is an absolute amazing facility. Just an example of what can be done in such a facility is this here. A Commonwealth bogie that's had secondary suspension damping, new rubbers sorted, and you know, just a general bit of an overhaul. It's had a wheel set exchange here on the inner bogie due to wheel flats, so they're getting this bogie sorted. If we just move around to the front here slightly, you'll see that they're doing all the draw gear and the buckeyes ready for all the coupling, make sure they're in spec, and just generally carry out a lot of good maintenance and repair work in a facility like this. It does go a long way. And now we're going to have a tour around the running shed with one of the resident volunteers.
Right, I'm Murray Duncan, a member of the Strathspey Railway Association, and I'm outside Aviemore locomotive shed built in 1898 by the Highland Railway, and it's the last surviving original Highland Railway locomotive engine shed. And this of course was Aviemore. Aviemore was an important junction of the Highland main line, and the shed was still used by British Railways up until about 1965, when it was finally closed following rationalisation of many of the local branch lines. And I'm here inside Aviemore engine shed. I'm here with the 2 Ivet locomotives that we have, 46512, which is in working order, first restored in the year 2000, and it's been a constant performer almost ever since. It's had its boiler out of its frames twice for repairs, but apart from that, it just keeps on going. Saying that, it was a major overhaul in 2011, but just keeps on going. And it'll be joined later on this year by 46464 over here, which was the first loco to haul a passenger train in the Strathspey Railway in July 1978. And it's had its boiler overhauled, motion, underframe, everything's been done. It's really just a case of putting it back together again, and we'll be in a nice position of having 2 working class 2 Ivet locomotives. Okay. This is a boiler of 46464, which the locomotive belongs to the 46464 Camiley Pirate Locomotive Trust. It's been completely overhauled, a lot of work done to the inner firebox, and repairs around the fire hole door as well. So this is ready to rock and roll almost, and go back in the frames, and hopefully we'll have this locomotive working later on in the year. Right. 5025, the oldest Black 5 in preservation, built in 1934 at Vulcan Foundry. It belongs to the Watkinson Trust. One of the early members of the Strathspey Railway was the late Ted Watkinson, who saved 5025 for preservation in the late 1960s, along with a rake of LMS coaches, which will shortly be undergoing restoration to work in conjunction with 5025. So the rebuild of 5025 was a 10-year project, which was finally completed in 2021, July 2021. So it's currently shares the workload along with the Ivet 46512. Right, at the Strathspey Railway we have our carriage and wagon department, and this is one vehicle that's received a lot of work by our staff and volunteers. It's RU Restaurant Unclassified number 1936, which formerly worked on the East Coast Main Line, and it's been completely gutted, new floors, new walls, new ceilings, and it's also going to get a new kitchen fitted. It's been rewired, replumbed, you name it. So it'll stand up well for the next 30 years at least, I would say. But this coach, it's known, used to work in the Flying Scotsman service. But I call this coach the Get Carter coach, because this is the type of coach that Michael Caine sat in the film Get Carter, eating his soup, as he's going up the East Coast main line to Newcastle to wreak vengeance. So that's what I call this coach, the Get Carter coach. Okay, right, around the side of the shed here, we've got the site of the former siding, which used to come along here. And you can just see in the distance there's new construction going on. And that's where our new two-road locomotive running shed is being built. And we are applying for plan permission to build next to that a building which will house a forge and a wheel lathe as well, so that we're fully up to speed with all what we need for looking after the locomotives in due course.
And now we're going to have a tour around the Roy Hamilton carriage shed. Right guys, so now we're inside the Roy Hamilton carriage shed, and to the left of me we have a very rare one of two LNER beaver tail. The other one has been converted back to a previous state. I'm not quite sure on the steam era stuff, but I know this is a very rare vehicle. This is the rebuilt version though, still in its 1960s sort of era. Don't quote me on that fully. So on this side they have the running set, so they store about 6 carriages in here. Which is nice, keeping them out of the harsh Scottish weathers, which is really essential, especially in the winter months. And to the right of me, we have the ex-Gloucestershire and Warwickshire Railway dining train, which is now at the Strathspey Railway, where you can come and enjoy a very lovely evening meal, something that's definitely worth doing and will be on my radar for the future.
So I hope that gives you a little bit more of an insight on a railway that often isn't seen by the public as much, because it's so far out of the way in Scotland. Really nice railway, really scenic. The views are amazing. If you are thinking of coming down here, do come down here. They've got little lodges as well, which I will insert a picture probably here now of. You know, they're £10 a night. They do the job very well. They're quite comfy, a lot better than actually staying in a sleeper. So you know, if that's not quite your style, they're quite nice little lodges. But yeah, so I hope that gives you a nice insight to the railway. Insert yet again, there'll be a few 37 clips in there, because we were lucky enough to stay late enough that some little bit behind the scenes stuff was going on. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you know anybody that's going to be interested in volunteering, as I say, they're always looking for volunteers. Every heritage railway pretty much is. So share it around. Anybody that's interested, go share it with them. And if you enjoyed this video, please share the video as well. Like, subscribe, it really helps us. So thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.